He was a real service person. Oh. Doing good. You ready, Senator? Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for your patience. I get the honor of stepping up and introducing someone that really needs no introduction, not only to our country, but to our great state and certainly to Brevard County. He's been a friend of ours from the very beginning, from the time he served as governor, and certainly has carried that into Washington, D.C., looking out for us here. So Senator Scott's going to come up and talk about hurricane preparedness. We all know it's getting that time of the year, and where we have to start thinking about that and asking our citizens too. So with that, please, Senator, your podium, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff. So first off, you're blessed. You have a great sheriff. I think the first hurricane I dealt with when I was governor was Matthew, and it was coming along the East Coast, and I had, there's no book on being governor during a hurricane. And one of the first things he asked me to do was make sure that, because all the bridges were getting shut down. And so he said, I had no idea at the time, that all the bridges had to be inspected before people could get back across. And so it was coming all along the East Coast, and the sheriff said, you need to pre-position people all along there and get the bridges open as quickly as possible. And so, if it wasn't for the sheriff and then sheriffs all across the state, I mean, they're the ones that lead this stuff. So they gave me a lot of good advice. So as together with everybody, we had 4 bad hurricanes, and everybody worked really well to keep people alive. We actually, with Irma, which was bigger than the state, we got 6 million people to evacuate. I did my best to scare the crap out of everybody so nobody would die. So I want to thank the sheriff. I want to thank your chair, Altman. Thad and I got to work together. Thad was in the Senate when I got to the governor's office, right? Yep. Yeah. And so we got to work together with quite a few things. I want to thank your Deputy Fire Chief, Rick Hill, Titusville Mayor Andrew Connors, State Senator Tom Wright, who I've had the opportunity to work with, Debbie Mayfield. Debbie was in the House when I was governor, and we got to work. We've got Representative Tyler Srow, Brian Hodgers, all new since I left, Monique Miller. We got Deputy Police Chief T.J. Wright, Titusville Battalion Chief Greg Sutton, Property Appraiser Dana Bickley, which I actually got to work with. And then the Red Cross has always been a great partner. So Jez Moran's here, but take Irma, which was the biggest hurricane. We opened up 700 shelters. So we called up, I think, 55 members of the National Guard, and we got them opened. But the Red Cross actually took care of them, and they did an unbelievable job. This is a partnership. So while I'm going around the state to try to get people ready, and here's why. Nobody up here can save your life. You got to save your own life. If you don't evacuate during the middle of a storm, nobody's coming. They can't. It's too dangerous for them. It's too dangerous for them to put their lives at risk when you put your life at risk. During Irma, in the 30 miles that Irma really hit down the Keys, only one person stayed. And I remember talking to him, and he was crazy. His plan was, he was on the beach side. Fortunately, he had been dead if it been on the ocean side. But his plan was, if the water got too high, he would get in his boat and go. Well, of course, when the water got too high, his boat was gone already. But the water got up to here. He couldn't move, of course. After 3 feet of water, you're not moving. So fortunately, the water came back down. So what you have to think about these hurricanes, stop worrying about the category. The category is only wind. You're not going to typically in Florida die from wind anymore. What you're going to die from is the water. What you've got to watch is the storm surge. If you look at Michael, which was my last 3 weeks in office, Michael hit Sunday morning. It was a storm. I think it was by Tuesday night, maybe Wednesday night, it was a Category 5. And people died because they said, well, it was only going to be a Category 1. Well, it was going to be a Category 1 still with 7 foot of storm surge. They should have. I tried to explain to people, you got to get out of there. 9 foot of storm surge, you will die. All they said is, oh no, it's only Category 1. We've been through Category 1s before. So today, don't worry about the categories. That's just wind. Worry about the storm surge. And listen, when somebody tells you you have to evacuate, you have to get the hell out. You do not take a chance. Ticeville has been lucky, for knock on wood, that we haven't had something hit here in a long time. But you never know. That happened in where I live in Naples, Florida. Nothing had hit since 1960, and Ian hit 4 years ago. And we got 12 foot of I think it was 12 foot of storm surge along the beach in Naples. And then of course Fort Myers got way more than that, maybe as much as 18 feet. People died. 151 people died that shouldn't have died. So here's the deal. There's a lot of websites you can go to. The federal one is www.ready.gov. Go to it. Get a plan. If you're new, this is really important. You got to get a plan. You got to have an evacuation route. And you think about it, we are a peninsula state. And so there's not a lot of evacuation routes. If you wait till the last hour, 1, there's probably going to be tornadoes. That's going to make it dangerous. And 2, the roads are going to be packed. Keep your cars full. Don't take a chance we're going to run out of gas. I tried to make sure we never ran out of gas when I was governor, but there were lines. 7 days of water, 7 days of food, have your medicine. For insurance, make sure you take a video of your house. Just take your camera, take a video of your entire house, outside your house, everything you have inside your house, because afterwards nobody keeps all their receipts. So the way this works is you are first. All the local government's going to do everything they can. The state government has resources, and most of those resources are shared resources. The sheriff will go down to another county if needed. Fire chiefs will go. They'll do search and rescue and other areas. So that's what the state does. The federal government, FEMA. FEMA is simply a response organization to the governor. They do not have a whole bunch of first responders. They don't have a whole bunch of trailers. All they do is have a checkbook. And we only have $40 trillion worth of debt, so their checkbook is not worth a lot right now. But they are the last line of defense. They are not the first line, and they don't come in and go rebuild everything. You have to have insurance, and the federal government can't pay for everything. So you've got to take care of yourself. So we're doing this around the state. I'll be in Jacksonville later today. Get ready. I hope they said I was at the National Hurricane Center on Wednesday or Tuesday. They said, oh, it's not going to be as bad, but it just takes one. Just takes one hurricane for the year. So listen to your local weather and listen to everybody locally. When they say evacuate, get the hell out. And don't wait until the last minute, because it might be too late. So now let me introduce somebody that I had. He was great to work with when I was governor. Your chair, Thad Altman, his stuff got done. He built really good relationships in the legislature and was a great state senator. Thad Altman.
Thank you, Senator, and I want to personally thank you for all you've done for the state of Florida, and in particular being here on the Space Coast. A lot of the excitement and the legacy that we have here now, you made possible as governor.
We should brag about that for a second. What this guy did, and Mike Herodopoulos, what they did is, if you look at where the Space Coast is today, it's because of what they got done. It's the stuff we got done through the legislature. Then we worked our butt off to get SpaceX and Blue Origin and a bunch of others, OneWeb, all these people here. So you really should thank Thad for what he accomplished.
Thank you. The list is long. Northrop Grumman, got to include them. But you're right, Senator. There is no book written on being governor or chairman of the county commission during a hurricane. But you could write that book. There's no doubt about that. I just want to, much has been said, but first of all, I'd like to just recognize the professionals that we have in state and local government, our first responders, our sheriff, our law enforcement, our emergency management personnel. They spend their life preparing for these storms. And one of the things I've been impressed, having been a commissioner now for almost a decade, is how detailed-oriented and how they think of virtually everything. And it's important that we listen to them. They know the potential. And we live in a state where our coastline and much of our history has been defined by major hurricanes that have been epic. We have gold scattered along the shorelines. We're just north of the Gold Coast for Spanish ships that have been sea wrecked from storms. We have historic battles that have been won or lost. And even on the Gulf a city like Houston literally moved from Galveston from a hurricane. These epic storms are intense, and they have huge impacts on our lives. And so I would encourage you to plan for the worst. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Because when you get a big one, there are so many things that you just don't realize. I remember being up in South Carolina right after Hugo. People couldn't go back home, not just for days. They couldn't go home for months. It can really change an area. So really get that plan ready and listen to those professionals so you can weather the storm, so to speak. But thank you for being here. And Senator, thank you for coming down.
Good. So always remember, you can always rebuild that house. You just can't rebuild a life. You can't bring it back. So now we're going to hear from your mayor, Mayor Connors.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Titusville, the gateway to nature and space, where right out here we're launching people not only to the moon, but eventually to Mars. And a community that also understands the power of nature and the importance of preparation. I want to personally thank Senator Rick Scott for being here today and continuing to emphasize hurricane preparedness across the state of Florida. In Titusville, we know firsthand that preparation is not optional. It saves lives, protects property, and helps communities recover faster. Last year, we saw historic rainfall and flooding impacting families throughout our city, including many homes outside of traditional flood zones. It reminded all of us that storms do not care about maps, politics, or assumptions. Every family needs a plan. That means knowing your evacuation zone, having supplies ready before the storm forms, checking on neighbors and seniors, fueling vehicles early, and staying informed through trusted sources, not rumors on social media. I also want to recognize our first responders, public works crews, utility workers, and city staff who stand ready before, during, and after every storm. These men and women work round the clock to keep our residents safe. Preparedness is a shared responsibility. Government has a role, but every household must take hurricane season seriously. Thank you again to Senator Scott for bringing attention to this important issue, and thank you to everyone here today for helping keep Florida prepared and resilient. God bless Titusville, and God bless the great state of Florida. Thank you.
You've had good mayors. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of them. Brevard County Deputy Fire Chief Rick Hill.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here today. My name is Rick Hill. I'm the Deputy Chief of Operations for Brevard County Fire Rescue. I'd like to start out by thanking Senator Scott for your years of dedication for preparing us for hurricanes and the guidance that you've brought throughout many years of doing so. So on behalf of Brevard County Fire Rescue, I want to remind everyone that hurricane preparedness or preparation is a team effort. And I'd like to bring up Brevard County Emergency Management. Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to go out on a limb too far here, but I'm pretty sure they never said buy up all the toilet paper. That probably never happened. So please save some for the rest of us. I want to remind, as we move forward, Brevard County brings a wide range of capabilities to storm response, including both fire and EMS, and that also includes county EMS transport to all of the hospitals. We also have wildland operations. We have hazmat operations, which includes search and rescues that the Senator brought up, as well as special operations. And we also have extensive water rescue capabilities with our ocean rescue team, our intercoastal marine boats, as well as our airboats to reach those flooded or hard-to-reach areas. But with all that said, one of our greatest strengths is our partnerships. We work very closely with all of our local hospitals and EMS providers, our city fire departments, John Scott and his emergency management his management team at Brevard Emergency Management, as well as our local sheriff's department. Thank you. Thank you, Ivy. This collaboration and this professionalism is what helps keep this county strong when the storm hits. As we enter the hurricane season, we encourage everyone to prepare early and stay informed. Together, we will help Brevard County be ready and resilient. Thank you.
Now, what I found in these is you get some great partners. American Red Cross has always been a great partner, in every disaster I had, including the Pulse nightclub shooting, all of them. But Janice Moran with the American Red Cross.
Good morning. And yes, thank you so much, Senator Scott. He has always been such a huge supporter of the American Red Cross and has been an amazing partnership. But also thank you to the city of Titusville and Brevard County for having us here this morning. As we prepare for hurricane season, we encourage everyone to take steps now to keep themselves and their families safe. Make a plan, build an emergency kit with the essential supplies, and stay informed, and always, always heed the evacuation warnings from our local officials. Preparation can make all of the difference during a disaster. Your emergency kit should include many items and many personal items. Just to name a few, it's the water, your imperishable food, medications, important documents. But don't forget those important documents for your pets, right? Because they need to be taken care of as well. We also encourage everyone to download the free Red Cross emergency app for real-time weather alerts, but also safety information, shelter locations, and preparedness resources. As Florida's population continues to grow, because everyone wants to move here to the Sunshine State, for many residents, remember, this will be their first hurricane season. For those who have lived here for many years, we know our weather can change in an instant. Rapid intensification is real. As Senator Scott talked about Hurricane Michael. That was a great example. But the storms can strengthen quickly and with very little warning. That's why preparedness is key. But hurricane preparedness is about more than responding after the storm, knowing what you're going to do. It's about building stronger, more resilient communities before disaster strikes. Here at the Red Cross, we're deeply committed to community mobilization by working alongside our local partners, businesses, faith-based organizations, homeowners associations, volunteers, and our neighbors. The list goes on and on. To help people better prepare for emergencies and support one another during times of crisis. At the American Red Cross, preparedness is not seasonal. It's a commitment that we make every single day for the entire year. The Red Cross prepares year-round by training volunteers, creating new ones, strengthening our partnerships and creating new ones, and working alongside all those local businesses and all of our partners, along with our community leaders and neighbors, to ensure we are ready to respond when disaster strikes, whether it is a single home fire, which we respond to multiple times a day, or a large-scale hurricane impacting thousands. But when communities are informed, connected, and prepared, they become stronger and more resilient. By empowering people with the preparedness tools, training, and resources, we can help reduce the impact disasters have on families and ensure communities are better equipped to recover faster together. Now is the time to get involved, support our neighbors, and help provide hope during times of crisis. If you would like to learn more, whether it is how to partner with the American Red Cross or how you and your loved ones can be best prepared, just visit redcross.org. Because taking action now can help protect your loved ones tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay. Any of us can answer any questions anybody has? Anybody have any questions? All right. Thanks, everybody.